What's happening, everyone? It's GBall, and I have some serious heat for you today, and I don't mean just in price alone. I have some killer knives to share with you. It's mainly a group of stuff that I have had trouble putting down, or they just simply kick ass, in my opinion. Now, if this is your first time stopping by, welcome to GBall Vision. Feel free to drop a comment below. Let me know what that EDC looks like today. The first knife we're going to kick the video off with is the Remet WD107, also known as the Peak. You can pick these bad boys up for right around $60. You're looking at 3.5 inches of 14C28N. This particular one has that bronze PVD that I love. Dual thumb studs for the deployment. It is also going to be a button top liner lock, a beautiful button top liner lock. You have that oblong button. It is textured, and then the detent on these is outstanding. Micarta for the handle material, backspacer, and then we have their deep carry clip that's left-hand friendly. They even include a nice filler tab there. And we even have a lanyard post in that backspacer for the lanyard fans. Just an excellent budget knife. Easily one of the best picks on the market right now. No question about it. Next, we have the brand new Artisan Colory Darkwing series. It's actually a version 2. They are out on a Kickstarter right now with 4 or 5 different versions. This is the glow wing variant here with a carbon fiber inlay, and that is going to be glow in the dark, hence the Glow Rhino name. Full titanium handle, otherwise pocket clip and backspacer, right hand carry only. And then instead of S35VN like the original frame lock, it's going to be S90V, ran 60 to 62. You have a cutout and dual thumb studs for the deployment, and the cherry on top, this is going to be a button compression lock, button top liner lock. Those of you who wished for more button liner locks and button compression locks, your wish is going to come true. And here over the next 2 years, we are going to see 1 million knives with that locking system. I don't have a problem with it. I love the locking mechanism, but there is something to be said for variety in things, right? To have a little bit of everything, no matter if it's the locking mechanism or the steel choice, handle material, there is something to be said for having a variety, and that's what I prefer. I am glad button top liner locks are making it their way into more affordable knives and designs, period. It's just we gotta, be careful what we wish for type of thing. Also, these are available on Kickstarter. It was fulfilled in like the first hour. This is mainly a gauge so they know how many to make of each version. It has nothing to do with needing the money for it. It's just how they can easily gauge the demand for the knife. And I'll have links to that Kickstarter and the rest of the knives down in the description. And if you're someone who enjoys knives and EDC and all the gear that comes along with it, double check and make sure you're subscribed here to the channel. As I said, this is a list of knives that I have had trouble putting down, or I just simply think they are badass. And this is both. I've been carrying this around for the last few days. Love the aesthetic of it. It is the Tenable Orion, and this is a more affordable knife, if you will. This one comes in at $120. They do have other versions without the CNC milling down at $70, $50. So this is a wide price range for this particular design, but this is a newer release for them with the copper infused carbon fiber. We have their standard deep carry clip. It's right hand carry only. The cherry on top for this is going to be that crazy CNC milling on the blade. It is going to be 3 inches of Nitro V. Let me tell you what, this thing came razor sharp out of the box. Nice sharpening choil there. It's going to be a flipper for the deployment, and it works really well. Great access to that liner. It is chamfered, but I cannot get over that blade. Everyone I've showed it to thinks it's awesome. So I like it. It's not going to be for everyone. Nothing is. But if you're looking for something with some serious draw to it, and you don't want to have to pay a ton of money for it, that is a really cool option right there with the Tenable Orion. Next, I gotta put this one on the list because for the last month, this has been in my pocket. This has been always in my pocket, as a matter of fact, and it looks like it has, actually. This is the Pulse OTF from EMP EDC. He did two different blade shapes, a sheep's foot and then a Bowie style. They're going to come in about 280. He did a DLC version that comes in right there at 300. That's what we have here. DLC sheep's foot blade in Magna Cut, ran to 63 HRC 6263. It is going to be an out the front auto with a titanium switch. It is beautiful and the action is superb. Some of the best OTF action, and then a titanium milled clip with beautiful wave milling on that aluminum handle. And then you have that EMP EDC custom pivot. Such an awesome looking knife. And let me tell you what, for an auto, this thing cuts really well because you do have a little bit more height to your blade here with the Pulse than you do pretty much any other OTF. One of my favorites up there with the best of them, the Pulse from EMP EDC. Next, we have an awesome knife coming in from SRM. This is the Scout or 7229AK. This bad boy right here is going to come in about $60, and this is one of the best values and one of the coolest knives that I've come across in a little while here. The Scout is 14C28N, about 2 3/4 inches of blade. You have a nice little sharpening choil there. You're looking at a rear flipper for the deployment and a very minimal rear flipper. And then we have textured aluminum handles that have a really good grip to them. And then you notice the crossbar lock and then realize, oh, this is a rear flipper. Well, this is actually really cool how SRM did this. In order to do a flipper and crossbar lock mechanism, you have to really do some finagling. And in the case of this, they actually milled a track in the tang of the blade for that crossbar lock to ride in as it is opening and closing. So freaking cool. I'm not like a mechanical genius or anything like that, but I do find stuff like this very interesting. That's one reason I'm a huge fan of knives and gear and the innovation into them and all the differences that they have. But this is really different and still really cool. And the great thing is that rear flipper works insanely well for a crossbar lock. It feels like it's a true detent just because of how the flipper is designed, how high it is, how strong that crossbar lock is. It just fires out of there very nicely. And then in order to shut this thing, you just unlock it and release the crossbar lock immediately. And that bad boy is going to go right home. If you hold down on it too long, you're putting pressure there and it'll still close all the way. It'll still close all the way if you hold down on it, but it goes down very quickly if you just basically unlock and release it. It just works really well. So fluid. What that is allowing is when you let go, then there's no tension on that crossbar and it can just freely close basically with very little tension. But if you're holding down on it, you got to kind of overcome that tension you're putting on that tang. Really cool design. Some people will love it, some people won't. It is sporting a deep carry clip that's left-hand friendly and a nice large lanyard hole. So completely ambidextrous, really cool design, and SRM does a phenomenal job with their budget line and the premium line that they OEM for as well. They do a killer job across the board, very clean on the hardware. Great looking knife. This would make a great mid-size EDC in the budget range. Next, we're taking a look at the Wixco Knives Phoenix. This is a newer release for them as well. And one thing I want to be clear on too, to some of you, is when you are seeing a video that's released for the first time, there is a 100% chance that video was recorded days prior, sometimes even weeks prior. And I've had that knife in my hand, in my pocket for quite a while at the point you are first seeing that video, if you watch it when it's first released. So a lot of these knives I have handled and been carrying, been using on and off for days or weeks at the time you are seeing the video. So that's one thing I want to point out. Like, say the unboxing for this goes live today when you're seeing this video. You know, I've probably already had the knife out of the box and the video recorded for a week at that point. So just something to, you know, be mindful of. Either which way, the new Wixco Phoenix here is going to be sporting some really cool features that we don't see in budget-oriented knives a whole lot, at least not recently. These are going to come in right around 70 bucks. You're looking at N690, Böhler N690 for the blade steel, which is an awesome change. I love 14C, 154, and Nitro V, but they really, you know, things start to get played out when you are seeing them constantly. So VG10, Böhler N690, BD1N, some of these other steels, when they're done properly, they are great, mediocre, mid-priced steel for these types of knives. And I think Böhler N690 is a great steel at this price point. I think it's a really good steel at this price point. And there's a reason you don't see it a ton, and it's because it costs more to use than 154 and 14C. Böhler N690 is notoriously more expensive than those. So that's the reason you don't see it a ton. Then we have these beautiful crosscut aluminum handles. This one has a blue finish to it. And then we do have recessed steel liners. Great access to the liner with a chamfer. Easy to get to and disengage. Your deployment methods are that mini fuller and front flipper. Work very well. A deep carry clip, and that is their standard clip, which works nicely, and it is going to be reversible. We have a matching back spacer with a lanyard hole for the lanyard fans. This is a great size, has some really cool materials, and it's going to be finished very well. And the next knife we're taking a look at is coming in from Olatins. This is their Imperial Penguin, also known as the M60. They did these in 2 different blade shapes and then 3 different steel choices. They're all going to be some form of Damascus. They did SLD Magic. They did a regular black Damascus with a VG10 base. And then they did a copper Damascus with a VG10 base. This is the sheep's foot variant with that copper Damascus. It looks amazing. And no, I'm not really going to use this knife a ton. Not going to take it out into the woods and cut logs up under the river. I'm going to keep this as a really nice collector's piece because it's not something you get to see every day, is this copper Damascus. I think it looks awesome. And you can pick these up between $140 and $170. So they're priced very fair. And then this has carbon fiber for the handle material. I do know that they have a white bone of the sheep's foot and the copper Damascus. That thing looks awesome as well with the white bone handle. The carbon fiber looks good as well. I think the white bone honestly might look even better than this one here, especially in person. The pictures are only going to do it so much justice. And then they have a milled tie clip for the carry, and I believe that is going to be right hand carry only because that's recessed into the scale. And as you can see, that is not there on the show side. And then we have a full length titanium back spacer, titanium liners. You do have a lanyard post back there. Built very well. The compression lock is superb on this knife right here. About as good as it gets. And the crossbar protrudes nicely. It's not too far. It's not recessed too much. Easy to get to and disengage. Then you have a decent sharpening choil there as well. Not that this is a knife you would want to do a ton of sharpening with. No, that is not your 1,000-mile cardboard slicer. Not something you're going to want to sharpen every other day, you know, changing the degrees 10, 9, 8, 7 for you even crazier folks out there. This is more of a collector's knife, casual user, at least in my opinion. You could beat the hell out of it though if you wanted. This knife wasn't originally on this list that I wrote up, but it actually was unboxed during the timing of making this video you're watching, and I wanted to put it on this video. I haven't been able to carry it much, just a day or two, but I already loved the Urban Grip. And I said in the initial unboxing of the V1, that is just a front flipper, it is done insanely well. And I said the addition of thumb studs would just really change the game, make it even better. And they went back to the drawing board and added dual thumb studs to the Fairmon Urban Grip. These were just released not too long ago. M390 ran 60 to 62. They did uncoated and coated blades. Beautiful, beautiful detent. Fairmon is the sister company to Wixco. Wixco typically handles the more affordable knives. Fairmon handles the more premium side. These are going to range in price from $250 on up. And then this one here has a titanium handle, backspacer, and pocket clip, and then a beautiful abalone inlay on both sides. When I saw these, I could not believe, I haven't seen much raving and rawling about this. I know some people were, but I think this deserves a lot more hype coming back out in a V2 with the included thumb studs, the new variations and inserts that they're doing. I think this is an awesome knife, and the version 2s just make it so much better. Great access to the lock bar, insanely good action, everything you would want out of your knife. And they have ones that are more subtle that look awesome, one with a blue carbon fiber and a couple others as well. But the abalone really takes the cake for me. You'll have to let me know down in the comments what was your favorite knife from today's video, and let me know if there are any knives you are hunting down. I look forward to hearing from you. I will have links to all these knives down in the description. Hit that thumbs up button for me. It helps push the video to more people. And if you want to be sure you're going to see more dope knife and EDC content, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I'll pop up a couple of new videos you haven't seen yet. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.